Welcome to another episode of the Baseball Card Junkies podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Infuego, and we're going to go ahead and knock out a real quick roll call. So we've got the carddeal.com, we've got Corey, we got Ripping for Rookies. How you doing, gentlemen? Glad you can make it with us today. So today's episode is going to be, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of good and bad. Some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about, you'll likely enjoy. Some other stuff you might get pissed off, but only one way to find out. All right. So before we get into anything, all the formalities, all right, real quick, want to thank SeatGeek for sponsoring this live stream. And if you're looking to get some tickets to an upcoming baseball game or whatever, go to SeatGeek.com. Got two codes on the bottom going down there for you, one for me and one for Adrian. So if you consider getting those tickets, knock out $20 off your first order. All right. So let's start off with upcoming releases. So as of right now, okay, I do want to go ahead and show you guys what Topps is releasing as far as new releases are concerned. So what they are talking about, and we've already talked about some of this stuff last weekend. So we do have the 2024 Bowman Sapphire, which released on June 5th, $429 for retail price. Next thing, they did announce 2024 Topps Tier 1 with a release date of June 6th, but that's the actual pre-order. It's going to be 4 cards per box, 2 autos, 1 relic, 1 base. They're looking at $240 per box. And from what I seen, let me see if I can actually pull it up for you. This is what we're looking at as far as what Tier 1 is going to actually have to offer. So you've got the Ohtani Babe Ruth relic, okay? Then you've got the bat knob. They look pretty nice. Got the gold auto. I'm hoping the corners of 24 top tier 1 is just as good as what they did for 23. I actually enjoyed it. Here's another one with Ronald Acuna. You got a red auto of Ellie. Then you got Yoshinobu Yamamoto rookies. Then you got some of the Hall of Famers. All right, Tier 1 relic of Derek Jeter. So that's what we actually have as far as Tier 1 is concerned. Also, what released was the Rickwood Negro League collection. And this is what we're looking at. All right. I'm going to go ahead and beef it up a little bit so you can see. This is what the artist actually came up with. Here you got a picture of Jackie Robinson. Now, they have it broken down into options as far as purchasing them. Now, as far as the purchases, for 1 card, you're looking at $16. For 5, you're looking at $70. 10, you're looking at $120. And 20, you're looking at $200. Okay. The product is going to be available. It began on the 6th, which was 2 days ago, and is looking to be expired June 13th of 2024. Okay, so if you're looking at wanting to get in on some of this Negro League collection, just go to Topps.com and get you however many you are actually looking to add to your collection. Now, another item that's actually coming up, and this is actually new. Let me just go ahead and get to it real quick. So this is an online exclusive. We're looking at 2024 Topps MLB Dynamic Duels. All right. They're looking at being released on the 10th. So Monday at 12 Eastern while supplies last. Okay. And basically it's just that. You're going to have 2 autos of 2 players on 1 card. 5 packs per box, 5 cards per pack, 4 base cards, and 1 chase pack. All right. Per box, you got, I guess we're talking 1 case. So you got 20 base cards, 2 inserts, 2 parallels, numbered to 50 or less, 1 dual auto card, 1 in every 10 is an on-card auto. Okay, no, so that's actually yeah, probably a case or whatnot. But I did take a look at the checklist. All right, and some of the names that they actually have, and I know it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but as you can see for card number 1, you got Otani and you got Yamamoto, Dominguez and Soto, Jackson and Thomas, so on and so forth. Okay, so when I haven't seen any of this stuff ripped yet, so hopefully I do get to see that when they start dropping in on YouTube. All right, so that is the only product review that we actually got going on. Anything else on here? Everything else not really important, but I did want to talk about these items real quick. So this is the tier 1. We've already talked about that. All right, so in series 2, we are looking at a new insert, which is called City to City Autographs. They're going to make their first appearance in 2024, and this is what they're actually going to be looking like. Drop in the chat below. Let me know what you think of these new inserts. Are they something that is going to stand out for Series 2? I mean, what are your thoughts on it? If I'm not mistaken, the chaser for Series 2 is actually going to be Yamamoto. And then there's some others that I can't think of, but I know he's the first one that comes to mind. So if you're looking to get some Series 2, just hopefully if you actually pull one of these, go ahead and drop a video or post it on the Discord or whatever the case may be. All right. So I'm not going to talk about that or this just yet. All right. So that's the releases. That's the reviews. So I did promise we're going to go ahead and do a trivia. So how it works, just like how we did it with the actual when we did the podcast on Adrian's channel, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the trivia question. It's gonna be a series of hints. If you happen to know the answer before all 3 hints are revealed, go ahead and drop it in the chat below, and the first one who gets the correct answer, I will take your channel, your YouTube channel, and I will post it onto the website, and basically that's free advertisement for a week. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this trivia. Welcome back to the Baseball Card Junkies podcast. Hope you're ready for this week's trivia. Let's get into it. Name this set. Here we go. Hint 1. This product made its debut in November of 2014. Any ideas? Hint 2. It is considered as expensive as Topps Transcendent. This should narrow it down. Hint 3. This product has 1 autograph card per hobby box with a patch number to 10 or less, including cut autos. No idea? The answer this week is Topps Dynasty. See you next week. All right, so I'm going through the chat now, and I am not seeing the correct answer. So the correct answer is actually Topps Dynasty. We will go ahead and try this again next week. All right, so make sure y'all get y'all's studying up the par. All right, now we are going to get into, and I know I should have been dropping the labels here in the below, but all right, so we're going to get into the top 5. All right, let me just get everything set up here. I'm going to be using Market Movers app as my reference. So let's go ahead and start off with number 5. And number 5 happens to be the 2023 Bowman Draft Chrome First of... Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Bear with me. I apologize. All right, there's the best one that I can come up with. All right, blow it up. It's going to be Paul Schemes. Okay, so this particular card had a 7-day increase of 17.5% with a 30-day increase of 18.3%. There has been The most recent average sale of this particular card, you're looking at about $21 raw. As far as a PSA 10 is concerned, the last one actually quite a few. All right, so 5 of them actually sold yesterday. On the low end, one sold for $190, and on the high end, one actually sold for $280. Okay, not gonna go into too much of his stuff. Obviously, these are his this is his line numbers for this season thus far. And we're actually going to be talking about Paul Skeens a little more in detail later on in the show. All right. I think this will probably be the part where a lot of you are going to not agree, or some of you may agree with what I do have to say in regards to this particular card. So we'll see how that plays out. All right. All right. Moving right along, we're going to go into number 4. And number 4 happens to be his paper first. Okay. With this one, we've seen a 7-day decrease of 6.1% with a 30-day increase of 53.9%. You could actually pick up this card roughly around $12 at most. And then as far as PSA 10s, we did have 3 that sold yesterday. The first one on the low end sold for $123.50, with the high being sold for $200 even. Okay, so that's what we got for Mr. Skeens. All right, so we're going to move on to number 3. And number 3 is none other than Ellie De La Cruz from the 2022 Bowman Mega Box, Chrome Prospects Mojo Refractor. With this particular card, we've actually seen an increase, a 7-day increase of 18.6% with a 30-day increase of 22% even. You can actually pick up this card roughly for about 27 to $34 around there. And as far as PSA 10s, there were 2 that were sold yesterday. On the low end, one sold for $100 exactly. And on the high end, at a PSA 10, one sold for $125. So not too bad. And as of right now, he's actually still on pace. He's actually ahead on breaking Ronald Acuna's 40 stolen base record. Can't really say too much about his home runs. All I'm hearing about is his steals. All right. So now we're going to move on to number 2. Number 2 happens to be the 2013 Bowman Chrome draft picks of Aaron Judge. I mean, what can I really say? Judge is just having himself a season. He's had a 7-day increase of 18.3% with a 30-day increase of 57.2%. You can actually get this card raw for about $30, give or take a dollar or two either way. As far as PSA 10s, one actually sold yesterday for $154 even. And I mean, just by looking at his line numbers, I can see why. You know, this season, he's got a 4.4 WAR, 68 hits, 21 home runs, batting .294, 47 runs, 55 RBIs. It's got a couple of stolen bases for somebody who's 6'7". OPS over 1.091 with an OPS plus of 205. So, I mean, he's definitely in the race, top 5, maybe top 3 for MVP. So, would love to see him go after it again. All right. Now, our final card of this week's top 5 is, we're going to go all the way down here because, wait, Did I pick the right one? No, I did not. Of course I didn't. All right, so I did have them mixed up. All right, this one was actually number 5, and number 5 is actually number 1. So the refractor of Paul Skeens, it had a 19 on it had 7-day increase of 19.2% with a 30-day increase of just under 55%. You could pick up this card raw for about $50. Most recent sales at a PSA 10. The last one that sold was on June 6th, and that one actually sold for $330. So comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about this week's top 5. I mean, it seems like we're gonna see a lot of Paul Skeens on the top 5 going forward. So I don't know. He's doing some great things, but it is what it is. All right. So we knocked out the top 5. All right. So now we're gonna get into some hobby news. And according to Bobby Sapp, let me go ahead and highlight this real quick. He should wind up with over 300 career home runs at the end of the season. And we're talking about Judge. Hopefully. I hope so. Victor, I could not agree with you anymore. Definitely way too much Paul Skeens. Okay. But stick around, Victor. I got some stuff. You're probably gonna be like, what the hell? Okay. All right. So we're gonna get into hobby news real quick. And if you remember last week, I told you if any updates comes about regarding that $2.1 million package that was sent over to the Best Western Hotel for the Memory Lane auction. Well, we got updates, ladies and gentlemen. We found out that there's a second man that was arrested in this whole scandal. Let me go ahead and blow this up a little bit. All right, so this article was published on the 4th of June. And basically, the second gentleman was arrested in this whole scandal of the 54 cars that occurred in Ohio. And the person that is actually arrested, he goes by the name of Jason Bowling. And he was arrested on Monday on felony charges of receiving the stolen property. Let's see. He's accused of storing the cars that were stolen from the Best Western Hotel after they've been shipped from Southern California. Just ahead of the Sports Collector Show. They were a part of the Memory Lane auction. The stolen cars included 14 rare 1914 Cracker Jack cards, a bunch of T206s, a couple of 1911 to 14 Brunner's Bread cards, early exhibits, and high-grade cards of Mickey and Roberto Clemente. What else we got here? They're still looking for the other 2 remaining cars that were out there, and we have not received any word on that. Buyers of the stolen cars were given the option to finalize their purchase after the cars were returned to Memory Lane or to cancel their bids. For now, the cars remain in the custody of Strongsville police. So, again, as more details come up in this particular article, I will go ahead and share it with you. So, be on the lookout for that. All right. All right. So next thing that is coming up. PSA mentioned a couple of weeks back that they was going to do it, and they went ahead and did it. So now, beginning June 19th, autograph-only submissions deemed authentic by PSA will be encapsulated with a blue label that features all security measures and technologies currently employed in PSA's signature red label. And these are what those cards are actually looking like. I mean, they look pretty good. I'm not going to lie. So, I mean, it's about time now we actually get to have a little identifiers for any cards that are actually being submitted, depending on what it is. All right. So that's what we got as far as PSA is concerned. Not going to talk about tier 1 because we actually spoke about that. We talked about the city to city. All right. So the next thing that I do want to bring up, how many of you in the chat, hold on, let me go ahead and close that out real quick. How many of you folks in the chat that have submitted cards to PSA at one point or another, uh, sent in a submission, and you get that email from PSA stating that a particular card or cards is actually going to be upgraded, and you was actually happy about it, just go ahead and hit me with a 1 for yes or a 2 for no. Okay, so that Lucky Peter coming in with a 1, so he's all about it. Okay, Arnie says he will not. He'll wait till he gets. He'll get it, then he'll smile. Collector's Dream. He does not approve. All right, so where I'm going at with this is, let me show y'all this article that I found on Twitter, or X. I'm sorry. All right, so somebody by the name of Cards Max wrote, I don't know who needs to hear this, but PSA is now upcharging cards in the $500 to $1,000 range to $74.99. Previously, they would only be upcharged to $39.99. I don't know the declared value for each of these price ranges, but to me, it sounds like it's significant, and this person who fell victim to it is not happy about it. All right. So this is the email that he received from PSA. Good morning, Mr. DeMarco. I do apologize for the confusion, as yes, that adjustment to $39.99 was our previously done when adjusting orders, but we must adhere to the policy on the fees according to the website. We have to adjust to the $74.99 fee per our policy on the website and what was agreed to when submitting. I understand you were previously adjusted to that $39.99 on orders, but we cannot do that on this order or any other orders as of more than a month ago. Again, I do apologize for the confusion, but nobody was trying to mislead you in any way. We have to adhere to the policies, and cards value between $500 to $1,500 fall into the regular tier and the $74.99 fee. And they provided the link of the prices for the submissions. Here is the link that will show you that. We do need you to approve your approval to proceed the adjustments, but if you do not agree to them, then we will have to return them raw and with the original grading fee applied. If you got any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. So what do y'all think about that? Hey, Adam, how you doing? According to Arnie, it sounds like business as usual. Okay. Lucky Pete says he got upcharged $100 for his 2018 Heritage Acuna Black Refractor. PSA sucks. They shouldn't upcharge on those levels. For some, they would agree. For others, like myself, I agree that they shouldn't upcharge, but then you have those individuals that look forward to those upcharges so that they could go ahead and I guess command a higher premium when they try to flip it. You know what I mean? PSA is not, nor do they need to scam people out of an extra $35 when they grade 1.3 million cards a month. Good point there, Arnie. Good point. But I mean, who in the chat was aware of this new upcharge policy update when it was released a month ago? Because me personally, I was not aware of it. But either way, I mean, that is a losing battle. It's just a lesson learned from my understanding. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? All right. So does anybody remember when we made the mention that GameStop was actually gonna start getting involved in the hobby business? Well, I got some news for you. And normally we on the podcast we only offer our opinions. We're not experts. We're not, don't take our word for it. Ultimately, you're gonna do what you want to do with your money, your cards, your product, whatever the case may be. We're just giving you from our perspective, okay? But this is gonna be one of those instances where I'm gonna stay away from it because it makes no sense. So what I'm talking about is GameStop is actually getting into the whole thing of buying and selling sports cards. All right. So let's do this real quick. All right. This is the Q&A in regards to this new program that they're implementing. And let me go ahead and blow it up a little bit for you. So what kind of cards does GameStop accept? So right now they're stating that they only accept official PSA grading trading cards with the Lighthouse label. The team is trained to analyze PSA cards for authenticity and offer cash or in-store credit on cards rated 8, 9, or 10. Okay, sounds about right. All right, so I have cards graded from other companies. Can I sell those as well? What part of the first question did you not understand? Basically is what I'm getting. All right. Is there a limit to how much GameStop will pay for a PSA graded card? And as of right now, look at this. Okay. They're only buying up to $500 of your cards. Okay. Last question. Are my trade offers negotiable? Graded collectible trade offers are hassle-free and the offer is final. So basically they're saying not no, but hell no. Okay. With that being said, if you go to GameStop and you're trying to sell cards, okay, your cap is going to be $500. Let me show you a couple of sales that they've actually done since the program began. First one. All right, let's go with this one. Look how much they're selling it for. Y'all tell me what's wrong with this picture. Okay. For non Game Pro members, you're looking at $1205.99. But if you have a membership with GameStop, you're looking at a low price of $1145.69. That's one of them. Check out this Ethan Salas Gem Mint 10 orange. $592.99 for non-members, $563.34 for pros. What are your thoughts about this? Please feel free to share your opinions on this. All right, so Arnie is saying good deal on the Salas orange. Okay. Mm-hmm. Agree, Nikki. So basically, the system that they use to buy and sell video games, regardless of platform, it's pretty much the same concept that they're doing with sports cards. All right, according to Beast, he is all over it. He's gonna head out to GameStop tomorrow with 100 cards. Let us know how that works out for you. But no, seriously though, and again, keep in mind, this program that GameStop is doing, it's not happening in all GameStop locations. If you do log into GameStop.com, okay, it will actually let you know which store locations are actually participating in that program. Okay, and I do agree with this comment that Nikki just made. They're hoping for people's desperation for quick cash. Okay. And sadly, that's basically there's always one who's going to capitalize on it. I don't know why. I don't understand why, nor will I ever understand. But I mean, it's their slabs. they're going to do what they're going to want to do with it. More power to them. Again, me, and I'm sure I can go ahead and speak for a lot of you, if not all of you, y'all will not likely find yourselves doing this either, unless it's some dollar bin value. Okay. Me personally, I would not get myself involved with that. That's beyond the scam. Okay, so go ahead and drop in the chat below. Let me know what y'all think of this whole shenanigans that GameStop is pulling on us, and if you plan on getting yourselves involved into this little program that they got. All right, I got 17 of you actually watching. I do appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. If you're new to the channel, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for me also. See what comments we got going on. In retail, if you have people bringing you product to profit from, that is a great business model. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. But now, is it a safe assumption to say if you happen to go into that GameStop that actually has this program, and either maybe the store manager or one of the clerks happens to be a collector, they'll try to capitalize on this maybe? What are y'all thoughts in that? Yeah, lucky for you, Titus. There's no GameStops in Japan. I used to do that, Victor, way back in the day, but now I moved on to actually picking up digital copies of the game. So, I mean, okay. So, Arnie, here's a question for you then. Would you be deeming that ethical? I mean, let's I'm going to tap into your integrity now, okay? Cuz I tend to believe that you're a very honest man, and you mean what you say and you say what you mean. Is that an ethical practice if you happen to, be fortunate enough to be an employee of GameStop and actually capitalize on this program? Touche. Yeah, TCG collectors would benefit off of it too. Well, Corey, we're talking about GameStop. You can buy a game that just released today for $59.99. You can finish it Sunday, return it or trade it in for store credit or cash on Monday. You'll be lucky if you come close to half of what you paid for it. And I'm only saying that because I've actually experienced that one time or two. That's a fair point, Hobby Hound. But I mean, not everybody is gonna have that the access like that. And again, it's not like you've got these massive cards that's actually coming into GameStop and everything like that. And hell, the chances of something walking in through that door that you actually collect and are looking for, it's very unlikely. If a manager can see desperation, he may lowball them, pay the drawer the right amount, and profit that way. I imagine older, rare games, let's say sealed games that walk in the door, get the temptation. It's a good comment. I mean, I have never seen anybody trying to trade in a sealed product. I mean, unless you have, I don't know. I really can't comment on that because I don't know. So, real quick sidebar: Aaron Judge tied the game with a home run. If you don't know, they're going up against the the Dodgers right now. But yeah, again, me personally, I wouldn't want to get into this type of program because I mean, this is more of a win-lose situation. A win for GameStop, a loss for you. You have to be able to make profit whether you are LCS or GameStop. Yeah, no, okay. I'm not against anybody who's in the business of flipping cards making a profit. I'm not against it. But when you're looking at, if you buy something, let's just say at 80% comps, okay, but then you go and try to flip it and you're trying to, stack up 120%, especially for somebody who is really not that versed in comping cards or buying cards or anything like that. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. We won't have same access. That is correct. But my brother-in-law worked at GameStop. They lowballed all the time on games. More profit for them, of course. Plus, card shops have always lowball collectors. At least we know with LCSs, that norm is expected. Okay. GameStop, I guess they're trying to just pick up where they left off as far as the program where they do with the games, and now they're just trying to implement it on graded cards. And we got Jenny Jones in the building. All right. She's going right to work, just dropping everybody's channel. All right. Make sure everybody, if you haven't, go check out Jenny Jones. Show her some love on her channel because she just comes out and just starts dropping everybody's channels. We do appreciate it, Jenny. All right. So the big one that I do want to talk about. All right, and this is in regards to Paul Skeens. So there was a auction that occurred through what was it? Through Golden. Okay, it was Paul Skeens Superfractor 101. It was graded PSA 7 with a grade 10 for his autograph. Check this out. That's how much it sold for. $80,520. Okay, what are your thoughts on this one? Wholeheartedly agree there, Larkin. Keep them coming. I was expecting all comments very similar to what I'm seeing. So I was watching a video this morning that on the Sports Card Investor YouTube channel, well, Market Movers actually, and Teapot actually was talking about this card. Okay, now this actually sold for the 80 plus thousand. Okay, do y'all think with somebody who just made their appearance is also the number one prospect, do you think his cards demand such premium? Because part of that video that I was watching this morning too, okay, this happens to be the third highest the second highest card that was sold via auction as a pitcher. Okay, so just to give you a quick backstory, the number one most expensive card for a pitcher that was sold, okay? It sold on May 9th of 2021, and it was the 2014 Bowman Chrome prospect Jacob deGrom PSA 10, and that one went for auction at Heritage, and it actually sold for $156,000. Okay, that's the number one picture that was actually sold via auction. Number two, it was actually the Paul Skeens. Okay, and then the number three, and he threw some other ones, but I didn't want to list them all. But basically, the number three most expensive pitcher was the 2006 Bowman Draft Chrome draft picks of Clayton Kershaw. It graded a BGS 9 with a grade 10 for the autograph, and that one sold around June 2021 for $85,200. So I mean, who in their right mind, and I'm talking about you gentlemen that's in the chat, okay? How many of you, let's just say for the sake of argument, okay, for your team that you love or whatever the case may be, you're actually collecting the pitcher, right? For one, what would be an ideal price for a superfractor of the pitcher of your team, the ace, let's just say? All this stuff is way out of my league. I barely ever pay over $50 for a card. Okay. Okay. Beast is saying $2,000 tops, which is reasonable. Because the first thing that came to my mind, and I see a lot of you actually dropping it in the chat, we're putting such a high premium on a kid who barely has 10 games under his belt. You know, his first couple of starts, he has been doing phenomenal. I will give him that. But then what happens later on when, you know, he does require that Tommy John surgery, you know, and it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when, because we got this kid who is pitching anywhere from 100 to 103 miles an hour. It's just a matter of time before he blows his elbow out and he's going to be out for the season. Then what happens to all those cards, especially this $85,000 card? What happens to that? They're probably going to take a massive hit. Because I mean, if you look at the pitchers of today, you've got Justin Verlander, great pitcher, well on track to make the Hall of Fame. His cards are not commanding anything five figures. Okay, maybe at one point it was commanding 4, but other than that, not really. And that's another thing too. Okay, that was that was mentioned in that video too. Then Nate, you know, apparently he's got some dime piece of a girlfriend. It's kind of like the whole Taylor Swift Kelsey shenanigans. So I mean, I don't know. Orlando says he'll only spend over $100 on vintage. Modern prospects usually gamble with about $50. A lot of Bobby, to answer your question, I don't know. Maybe one of the more seasoned collectors will be able to answer that. I've never heard of him having Tommy John, but you got Justin Verlander. You have Aroldis Chapman did get he did have Tommy John surgery, and that's another one. You know, even after Tommy John, he's still pitching 100, be anywhere from 101 to like 105. Okay, then you have Garrett Cole. He's another one that's injury prone. Okay. Right now, he's on track for a Hall of Fame career, but his cards don't command much because he's injury prone. I mean, then you had who was that Cy Young kid? Sandy Alcantara. He's another one. Then you have, Chris Sale. A lot of these big name pitchers, nobody has really put such a huge price tag on their head like that. Allen says, don't believe the hype. I don't ride that train. For example, Jackson Holiday, Junior Caminero, Ellie, etc. I've fortunately had the rare opportunity to train under an MLB scout. Okay. Nolan has not had TJ until after he retired. Now, do you care to elaborate on this, Allen? Just need a little bit of clarity. That's all. All right. So, according to Orlando, Nolan Ryan had surgery in 1986. Touche, Larkin. I look at Ellie as more of an entertainer, if you will, not an actual. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from him. Okay, he has to have some type of skills that led him to the major leagues. But as far as great player, I haven't seen it yet. Caminero isn't even playing yet. Anyone writing off Jackson and those guys, please email and sell me all you have. Well, card deal, as far as Holiday, when he did have the opportunity to shine, he didn't take advantage of it. Granted, he probably had cold feet or stage fright, but still, I mean, look at Anthony Volpe, look at Jason Dominguez. Them boys got the call and they performed. Holiday, not so much. Chuck says not Tommy John surgery. Okay. Trout got sent down. I do recall that. So, I mean, again, I can see paying $85K for a superstar slugger, somebody who is pretty much a lock for Hall of Fame. Okay. The But as far as pitchers, I mean, we've all got into breaks at one point or another. And every time a hit of a pitcher is actually pulled, depending on the pitcher, I will say that. A lot of us don't really get all excited about it. Oh, great. It's a pitcher, I mean, that's just what I've seen. Those panic selling is what I am saying. I am panic buying. Touche. That's a good question. You're the Soto collector there, John. Would you pay $80K for a PSA 10 Superfractor auto of Soto? I mean, because me personally, if there was a Superfractor of either Julio or Alex Rodriguez that I really want, I'm not paying no ridiculous price. Okay. No more than maybe 5K. And that's a little more realistic. Adam is enticing you. Beast, you should. Adam, would you spend that amount of money on a superfractor of Chipper Jones? 80 kroners. I would never pay 80K for that. Maybe those 80K bankroll people have so much money they just want the card. What if Schemes bought it for himself? I mean, I think if a player went out and bought his own card, I think that would have been advertised at some point. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, Arnie, but what I'm saying though is that could happen. I mean, it's like I read an article today where some random kid he pulled a superfractor of Bobby Witt Jr. out of I think it was Stadium Club, if I'm not mistaken. He sent out a tweet to Bobby saying, "I will trade you this 1-of-1 superfractor for an autographed baseball bat." So the kid went to the game and the trade was actually done. Magnus says, "What happened to collecting guys you enjoy watching playing the game or the mark they left in history? So much of this hobby now is all about who is going to yield the most potential profit in the future." Wholeheartedly agree with that comment. It's possible. CJ Caffis for Cleveland. His family member reached out to me and they want his super auto I have. Okay. To each of their own on how they collect. As long as you enjoy it, then whatever. But it just seems like it's all getting treated like a stock market and the cards are shares. It makes the hobby dull. You know what? If we had a religious service of the hobby there, Magnus, I would nominate you to be the preacher. Okay. So the most Adam has ever spent on a car was $5,000, and that was for a Jordan, not a chipper. Hey, what's up, Jeff? How you doing? Appreciate everybody coming on in and having a little fun talking hobby. But I guess it's a safe assumption to say that a lot of us that are in here, all 21 of us, well, 22 if you count me, agree that we would not be spending no $80,000 on a player who hasn't really done anything much yet. Yeah, he's had a couple of good games, but that's about it. And two, even if it was somebody that we do know has made a name for themselves, has a nice little resume on their career, may potentially go into the Hall of Fame, would probably still not be willing to spend that much money on a piece of cardboard. So, I mean, Alan says, "I know by evaluating a player's performance, video footage, what to look for in determining whether they'll be successful at the major league, leave a play." Okay. Yeah, wholeheartedly. But yeah, as far as me, I do have a cap, whether you believe it or not, on what I would spend for any of my personal collection players. You know, sometimes I do have impulse shopping habits, but I have never, the most I've ever spent on one card was about $800. And I don't recall exactly what it was, but I do know that it was an Alex Rodriguez autograph. Forgot which product, but that was it. Beast writes, the most he's ever paid was $550 for an 83 Garbage Pail Kids Series Set 1. What is the most you all have paid for one card? Even you, yeah, $800 for an Alex Rodriguez auto. I mean, every now and then, you know, yeah, I'll drop 300 here, 400 there. So again, I'm not spending no four figures or higher on cardboard. It just wouldn't sit well with me. I paid over $125 for a Ryan auto relic. I mean, fortunately, a lot of us do tend to have players that we PC that really don't command that much, but then you have those players that we do collect that their prices are just ridiculous. Like me personally, you know, since I've been on this journey of collecting Julio Rodriguez, his prices are just literally unrealistic. Even with the new products that are coming out, you know, like for example, this week, yesterday, I was on eBay and I saw that somebody was selling a 23 platinum anniversary numbered to 15 autograph of Julio Rodriguez, and this kid wanted $899. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Arnie writes, no comment, but I saved and worked for years selling cards and saving. If you want anything, it all takes work and passion and something you want to obtain. Patience is the only advice I can give. And that is probably the best advice anybody could ever actually implement if they're in this type of hobby. Nikki writes, I would love to collect Harper, but most of his cards are out of my price range. Nikki, maybe if you get with Alan, he'll cut you a deal. Just saying. But I don't think Alan's going to be getting rid of any Harpers anytime soon. So just to give everybody a quick update on what's going on with Adrian, she's getting better. She's actually her health is actually improving significantly, and her expected return might be sooner than expected. I don't have a projected date as to when she will actually be coming back, but based off of our previous conversations, she's sounding in real good spirits and really can't wait to get back into knocking out an actual podcast. So I'm looking forward to that. What's going on, Dom? How you doing? Joe, how you doing? Yes, happy Wednesday, Dom. Happy Wednesday. So yeah, once again, I do appreciate everybody coming in and enjoying whatever little podcast that I can provide for you guys. I know it won't, it's not the same without Adrian here, you know, but I do try my best to make it as informative and entertaining for you guys to the best of my ability. So I do hope y'all actually enjoy this kind of content. Once Adrian does make her return and we start getting back into the flow of things with the podcast on her channel, I'll actually continue doing the after hours show. John, if you would like someone to join you, one of my LCS guys who writes for Sports Card Digest and Beckett sometimes would come on and talk with you. We'll talk about that later, Beast. That would be awesome. That would definitely be awesome. Appreciate it, Dom. I appreciate it. So does anybody have anything going on after the podcast is going on? I know, Arnie, you might be going live tonight right after this, right? Yeah, Maddie. Wholeheartedly agree. Mike's going to sleep. You working tomorrow, Mike? Stony is live on Whatnot. Okay. Okay. Arnie's taking a day off. He's calling in lazy because he was working all day. My thoughts on it is I did mention that there's gonna be a new insert in there. It's gonna be a city to city autograph. I'd like to see how that actually looks. Um, there's really no big difference between Series 1 and Series 2 for the most part. I'm not, I mean, it's probably going to get the same love that I gave Series 1. It's going to be kind of like a meh kind of deal. I mean, the chaser for Series 2 is going to be Yamamoto, so we'll see. Adam is slinging pizza, making money to pay for a new AC. Yeah, that's another thing too. I gotta pay. Me and the missus, we gotta put money together because our centralized AC went out. So we got a couple of old school ACs kicking in. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah, we'll see how those work out too, there, Beast. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream here. We're already at that hour mark. I do appreciate everybody coming in. As information comes up with all the topics that we discussed today, I will be sure to update you on next week's episode. Keep an eye out on the Discord because I do post significant articles that are occurring within baseball, or if there's something within the hobby that basically is a all hands on deck type deal where it's stop what you're doing. I will post that in the Discord as well, and then we'll just elaborate on it in the next episode. So again, I do appreciate everybody showing up. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. I do appreciate it. And with all that, y'all have a good night, and I will see you out there on YouTube. Have a good one, everybody.